There's fire on the doorstep, searchlights in the hall. The sirens sang their warning. You just looked at me and laughed. You can blame it all, you can blame it all, you can blame it all on me. You can blame it all, you can blame it all, you can blame it all on me. You can blame it all, go and blame it all, you can blame it all on me.
I hold my liquor where your hand used to be. No more hangovers like the ones you gave to me. 'Cause I don't wanna be numb anymore. Don't wanna play dumb not anymore. I let that fire burn inside of me. 'Cause all I need is that dance floor. The music's all I ask for. You mean nothing to me no more, no more. 'Cause I'm better on my own. I don't need nobody. I don't need nobody. I don't need nobody to make me feel good. I don't need nobody. I'm better on my own. I don't need nobody. I was addicted to the way you made me feel. No more hangovers like the ones you gave to me. 'Cause I don't wanna be numb anymore. Don't wanna play dumb, not anymore. I let that fire burn inside of me. 'Cause all I need is that dance floor. The music's all I ask for. You mean nothing to me no more, no more. 'Cause I'm better on my own. I don't need nobody. I don't need nobody. I don't need nobody to make me feel good. I don't need nobody. I don't need nobody.
I'm Julian Thompson. I'm the design director of Jaguar, and my team look after all the interior and all the exterior of all the Jaguar cars. F-Type's a really important car for us. It's always the most beautiful, most special, most high-end performing Jaguar of all of them. It sits right at the top of the range, very much an icon for us, and we love this car. Jaguar F-Type has always been our most beautiful car, and for the new one, we managed to really push the boat out and enhance all the features that made the car so special in the first place. It's always had the best proportions, it's always had the nicest surfacing, but now we've got sharper graphics, a slightly different face, different details all over the car, all to enhance what's already a very, very beautiful vehicle in the first place. I think when we did the F-Type in its previous generation, everyone said that car always had a beautiful tail, a beautiful, one of the best looking rear ends, if you like, of the car around. Now we have a front end which we feel really matches that. So we've got a really, really aggressive, but also very, very beautiful, very, very elegant front end of this car, which is just as special as the back end of the car. Well, Hot Wheels has always been very, very special to me. I've been playing Hot Wheels for the last 50 years, and I still buy them now, and I can't resist buying one whenever I see them. And the little Hot Wheels F-Type we have here today is just as exciting as the real thing. Hot Wheels is just a brand, all designers love. The way Hot Wheels interprets design and products, you'll see them all over the desks of all my designers. So we're so excited to work with this company, which has been part of our childhoods, but also growing up for all the time. It really, it's the first time little kids get to effectively drive a car. So it's a fantastic thing for us to really have this involvement, linking, real childhood memories back to sort of dreaming about cars of tomorrow. This is our all new design studio. We're very, very pleased to have this here. We've been here a few months now. We moved from a fairly modest, fairly cramped studio, which had a lot of history in it, a lot of great family feeling. It's a place where we designed some fantastic cars, but we just outgrew the place. And we're now in the most perfect, probably state-of-the-art facility. We believe this is the best design facility in the world. And we're going to carry on building the best designed cars in the world. That's what we're about. We love this new facility. It's very expansive. It's got the best technology, but we're very much proud that we retain the family feel we had at the old design studio as well. Designed a really exciting period, and I think I really enjoy the very, very first stages, the sketching, the ideation, really sitting down with designers and really working through a problem, and it's something we find so fascinating. Our job is always about doing something different every single day. So that very, very first stage is very, very exciting. But equally, as you go through the whole process, and you'll see some of those stages in the Hot Wheels film itself, every little bit, as you mature design and it grows and becomes a real thing, is equally exciting. You can't beat the moment when you finally pull the covers off the car at the end of the day and you see the thing finished. So right at the start, right at the end are probably the peaks of excitement, but it's all good fun.
My name is Brian Benedict. I'm the head of diecast design for Hot Wheels and Matchbox. Hot Wheels has been around for 50 years, 51 years now, and it's an amazing, iconic brand that is loved around the world. We're going to be running our 1/64 scale version of the new Jaguar F-Type down this track, through the studio, and all around the facility here. Hot Wheels has had a wonderful relationship with Jaguar for many years, going on 40 plus years now, I believe. We've done a number of cars, replicated a number of Jaguar cars in 1/64 scale over the years, with something like 110 plus different executions of Jaguars in that time. We've always had a very strong partnership, and it's really exciting to be here and partnering on this important launch. We've partnered very, very closely on this. We've worked together every step of the way with our partners at Jaguar, and preparing for today and preparing for the launch of our Hot Wheels car. It's been a much more collaborative experience, I think, than with other partnerships, and so it's truly been wonderful working with the team here. We work to create a very accurate representation of that car in 1/64. We have to do some simplification at that scale, and it's all about selective editing and modifying the forms to work at scale. We've got to pare it down to 4 parts. Is basically our Hot Wheels basic cars are 4-part cars. You've got your body, window, interior, and chassis. And then we've got to make sure it works on track. And so there's a lot of sort of engineering and design that has to take place in order to create a car that's trackable and fits all the specific requirements of our 1/64 die-cast cars. So the cars you see here today differ from our production die-cast in that they're actually 3D printed resin models. In order to support the shoot, we produced 20 samples that are 3D printed, and we've actually added weight to those samples to make them feel like an actual die-cast car, to have the proper weight and feel of a die-cast, and that will help it run through the track. So the cars you see here today will actually perform essentially just like our final production car, but they're not made of die-cast and ABS plastic like you would see in production. So there are some differences there. It's so exciting to actually see the new F-Type in person here today for the first time. I've been seeing images of it on the screen, and I was very excited to come here and see it in person.
So I'm Alistair Whelan, I'm Director of Interiors for Jaguar Design. I basically look after all of the interiors from start to finish, colour materials and user interface as well. I'm really excited about the launch of our new F-Type. For me, it embodies all of that creative tension that makes a Jaguar very special. The car is extremely compact, it's very powerful, it has a wonderful element of Britishness about it. It's very performance orientated and it has a lovely crafted interior. I think for me, F-Type is a wonderful interior. It really envelops the driver completely. It's a multi-sensory experience for me, F-Type. It's a 1+1 interior architecture, very driver focused. We already had a very crafted interior. We've taken those luxurious elements and we've dialed them up, really giving the customer some lovely new stories to talk about. We have some wonderful new monogram quilting details in the doors. We have some beautiful metallic details that we're bringing in throughout the car, proudly embellishing our 1935 established history. My favourite element of the car is our new digital instrument cluster. And I think when you look at an F-Type, we're really kind of moving the car on into the 21st century, kind of embracing the digital age, bringing in this all-new digital cockpit with some beautiful new fonts and typography, wonderful new colours that kind of really invigorate that kind of sporty experience. So the new TFT instrument cluster for me is one of my favourite elements of the new F-Type, really bringing in that emphasis on digital for a new age. It really, for me, amplifies that driving experience that Jaguars are very famous for, bringing in that central focus, the rev counter in the middle of the car. We have wonderful, bold new fonts in very invigorating, clear colours. We have different modes that you can scroll through on the instrument cluster. So for me, the embracing the digital with the analog is really only amplifying the F-Type sporty credentials. I think the specific qualities that mark any Jaguar interior must embody the creative tension that I think our cars are very famous for. It's about mixing the old with the new, it's about mixing the digital with the analog, and it's about mixing the beautifully luxurious crafted interiors with something that is born and very sporty and very performance orientated. I think for me, just the accuracy of the interpretation of the car. I think, you know, when you try and scale down full-size cars into something that's so tiny, you kind of lose the essence of the proportions. But, you know, seeing the car at first glance, it exactly, you know, mimics the front end design, and you know, good surprise for me, the interior is very, very accurate as well.
I'm Adam Hatton, I'm Head of Exterior Design for Jaguar. So the F-Type's important to the Jaguar brand because Jaguar's always been about sports cars and its history. We have this unique combination, we feel, of sports and luxury. The F-Type really shows the really sporting side of the Jaguar brand. We try and involve all of the heritage of the sports cars throughout our history, but in a very, very modern way. So yeah, it's a very important car for us. On the new F-Type, we've had the opportunity to completely change the whole front ends of the car. From the A-pillar forward, so it's got a new bonnet, all new bumpers, it's got new wheels, fenders, and we've got new rear ends with the new signature lamps at the rear as well. So it's quite a substantial change to the car design-wise. So my favourite part of the new F-Type design is the super slim headlamps. We've worked extremely hard to work with the technology to get those graphics as slim as we can. We have our J-Blade signature in there and also our Pixel Matrix LED technology, so the very latest technology. And leading on from that is the beautiful sculptural bonnets. So the front-end design of the new F-Type is really, really successful in our view because it really accentuates the width of the car with the super slim headlamps and the graphics, the aerodynamic graphics in the lower intakes. It really gives a very assertive stance, very sleek, elegant, which is what Jaguar's all about, but with that bit of aggression, that bit of assertive frown to the front, which obviously it's a high-power sports car. Part of our job is to make it look as good as it drives. So we've loved working with Hot Wheels. It's a brilliant brand. It's a great collaboration, really fits well with Jaguar. The actual Hot Wheels model is superb. It's been brilliantly done. It really represents the design very well. We worked together as a design team with the Hot Wheels team to create something really special. As a kid, we grew up with Hot Wheels, and you know, I've got my own kids now, so they'll be playing with these Hot Wheels F-Types as well.
Hi, I'm Paul Schmid. I'm a senior project designer at Mattel, and I've been working on the Hot Wheels brand for over 11 years now. So I work on all the tracks and play sets, so basically everything that the cars are driving on. So we're here today at the Jaguar Design Studios, and we're going to use a Hot Wheels car and Hot Wheels track to take you on a tour through the design studio. So this is one of the most complicated builds that I've ever had a chance to work on. It's been a great fun experience. Everybody here at Jaguar has been super helpful, but there's a lot of challenges getting a 1/64th scale car to go through such a complex layout. There's a lot more math and engineering and physics involved than most people would think. So we've got a Hot Wheels car traveling at anywhere between 350 to 400 scaled miles an hour with no steering and no driver. So every little bump on the road, every little twist and turn has to be laid out just perfectly. I've worked on track sets all over the world for all different types of installations, but this is the first time doing a working track in a working design studio. The biggest challenge is that actually the size of the space and navigating all the way through it. And our cars that we're using are still handmade prototypes, so they don't quite work the same way that our production car would work. It's actually amazing seeing the car in full size. We've been working on the car in 1/64 scale, which is completely different look than a full size. In 1/64 scale, so much of the details just are not captured because of the limitations of the scale. So getting to see the car for the first time full size is really amazing.